Good morning. Today I'm going to be testing the new Touche, Eclat, whatever, foundation in Cool Almond. I just picked this up yesterday and I literally just hopped out of the bath and I thought, what video shall I film? And I decided it would be this because I haven't actually used it yet. Ooh, okay. I'm going to pop on some primer, and that primer is going to be the Ordinary High Adherence Silicone Primer because that's the primer I've been using recently. And then we're going to get into the application. Now my skin's been pretty dry recently, and I'm interested to see how this works because when the woman tested it on me in the store, it's very liquidy. It definitely was showing up some dry patches, and wow, that's like a lot of coverage. I've just put a very small amount on my brush. I went in for the new balm that they've released and she kind of sold me on something else because of the boots points. I'm a sucker for boots points. And I said, I think there's been a foundation that I've been interested in. I didn't know whether or not it was this one or the ink that they released last year. Anyway, she told me that this was going to be better if my skin was a little bit dry, which it is. And she said that this was not as much coverage, but it would still wear really well. And with that in mind, I thought we would put it to the test. It's not sitting quite as well as I thought it would. But it is applying nicer than my double wear would with a brush. I can definitely see kind of the texture of my skin here more than I would like. But then I think I have used a lot more of this than I would with the double wear. It's not claiming to kind of blur anything, but especially around here, I don't know if I love how it kind of makes my skin look. That really is just first impressions. I'm just using a tiny bit more of this as concealer in the places that I want it. I'm going to use my Vichy Dermablend powder to set. The only other thing that I'm going to use on my face is I'm going to put a little bit of this blush, or I think it's technically a highlight from Becca. This is what I'm dealing with when I take my hair out of a bun like that. Okay, so I put on my eyes. That was the NYX Liquid Black Liner and the Maybelline Lash Sensational. That's all I've got on my eyes. And since I've gone and put a t-shirt on and kind of been in different lights, I'm a little bit peeved because I was actually colour matched and this was the lighter of the two. This is the one that she said was my colour, and the other one, which I was tempted to go for because she said it was kind of like slightly warmer but might be better for summer, was going to be not right at all because in a different light, I don't know if you can tell from here, I can see, I blended it down my neck but only to about there, and I can see a line here where it's not my colour. So that's frustrating. I think what I probably would recommend, and probably should have done because I know better than this, would be to purchase the one that you want to purchase, but also to get a sample at the same time, because when you buy a sample then you can use the sample, and if it doesn't match you can take back the unused full product. Because now I'm stuck with something that was incredibly expensive and doesn't actually match. It's not the fault of the woman who served me because obviously department store lighting is not great. Boots, is it a department store? I don't know. But it's kind of annoying. Also incredibly not transfer proof because I had a different t-shirt on before this one and I had to take it off because, careful as I was, can't do this and talk, obvs. Careful as I was, I obviously wasn't careful enough because it ended up all over the collar. This is the, I think it's called Volupte Balm. Liquid Colour Balm, and the colour is shade 2. I forget what the actual name of it is. I've had it for a day and I'm obsessed. I think the scent is watermelon. It reminds me, did anybody remember Maybelline Water Shine? This is a serious blast from the past. Came in like a lilac pinky kind of shimmery tube, and it was like a glossy, sheer, shimmery lipstick, and every single one of them smelled like watermelon. That was #1 reason to buy them. I loved them so much. They were up there with Heather Shimmer in the day. So here we are. Here is the makeup. Look at this. Insanity. I'm not doing anything with my hair because it's raining outside. It's just going to be rained on. But this is what it looks like right now. I'm going to come back to you in a little while and check in and see what it looks like. You know the deal. But I like the finish. The finish right now, once I'm all made up, is no worse than my double wear. It's not clinging to any of those dry areas down here that I thought it might, so that's good. And yeah, we'll see. Quick update, I've just come back from the shops and I'm going to sort out the bedroom, so I thought just in case I get a bit hot and sweaty sorting all this stuff out, I've got to like move the bed and stuff, I would do a little update. It's actually lasting pretty well. It's probably been about 3.5 hours. I would say that there are certain areas around here that might be gathering ever so slightly and exaggerating kind of dryness, but otherwise it's pretty good. It still looks really nice. It looks quite radiant, which is the whole point of the foundation as I understand it, and natural. It's been a full 7 hours. I have done a lot of cleaning. So I have been a little bit hot and sweaty, and I was fully expecting to be like Shine City right now, and especially because it's a radiant finish foundation. I wasn't really going to hold it up too much there. I thought it was probably going to be not that great in that department, but I'm really impressed. I'm a little bit shiny here, but that's to be expected. Anything here is kind of the sheen from the product that I put on anyway. Not really anything there, nothing there. It is definitely gathering a little bit. I would say if you have got a lot of dry patches, this might not be the right thing for you, especially because I did put a primer on first. This may benefit from me wearing a heavier kind of moisturiser in lieu of primer. We'll see in the future. But this is just kind of my first impressions, and I used it as I would my double wear, which is kind of what I am holding this up to because it's what I bought instead of my Estee Lauder favourite. And I really, really like it. I mean, I'm glad that I really like it. I think it was £35, which is pricey. It's a little bit more than double wear, I believe. But I'm happy with it. So I hope this was useful for those of you that want to be considering this. If you're already a high-end foundation lover, I tend not to be. I like to have one high-end foundation that I know will perform for me, and then I tend to wear other things kind of day to day, and my double wear is my one that I know will perform. Whether or not this can replace it, time will tell. I do prefer a slightly more radiant and flattering finish these days. However, it definitely does have that issue with my dryness, which we'll see whether or not that ends up being kind of something that's a deal breaker, because I don't feel like that's something that double wear does exaggerate. But then lots of people with drier skin say they can't get along with double wear, which kind of blows my mind because I apply the very smallest amount with my fingertips and it gives me exactly the finish and the coverage that I want, and I don't find that it exaggerates any lines, pores or dryness at all. I'm already talking myself out of buying the YSL as I'm finishing this sentence. Now, if you are into foundation reviews, I have several wear and compares which kind of encompass certain ranges or certain brands, usually more than 2 foundations. Hence the comparison. Sometimes kind of side by side, sometimes several days, and I do a full day test and tell you how they wear on my skin, being applied in different ways as well. So if you're interested, I will link some around my face right now. I'll also link some in the information bar, description bar, whatever it's called. If you're on a bit of a foundation kick and you are looking for something new, they may be useful for you as well. Otherwise, I will see you guys in my next one. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already.